Welcome to this special edition of the BLAINESWORLD show that can be seen on WPVM's Facebook page. Each week we bring you news about the Asheville theater scene, as well as good news about the good stuff that's happening in the area. And toward that end, it's my pleasure to be doing this live broadcast at the Center for Art and Inspiration in Hendersonville, where we'll first be meeting with Mike Yao, the infamous Mike Yao. And you can wave to all your fans.
Is it infamous?
Infamous.
It should be infamous.
And can wave to all your fans and friends on Facebook.
Hey, all three people.
Okay, exactly.
Hopefully.
And Mike, I'm really excited to be here. I've been here once before, maybe twice before, the Center for Art and Inspiration. How did you get involved in doing some stuff down here?
Well, I've been performing here for pretty much the last year. They cast me in an Italian wedding, a big fat Italian wedding murder mystery dinner theater show. And then they invited me back apparently, so I guess I did okay. I played Johnny LaGuardia, whatever. And then we did Stone Soup, which is a children's theater show, which they cast me and Karen, and obviously some other really good actors as well. So so they've been keeping us almost repertory-like busy.
Okay, I'll have you talk up a little bit, Mike, just so everybody can hear you.
Oh, right.
You mentioned in terms of a children's theater, one of the things I find interesting about Mike is that you do a little bit of everything. You know, in other words,
right.
For a while you were the resident priest in Asheville. You were doing
right. There was that year
about 3 shows as priest. Do you have a preference in terms of doing adult theater or children's theater?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I like them both. I know it's such a stock answer. But I like the energy of the children and the wonder, and obviously trying to bring the youth, keep them in theater, let them know about it, because, you know, sadly it's slowly kind of dying. I think we're trying to revitalize it though. But then the adult stuff, you can kind of dig in with the dramatic stuff a little harder, you know, and hit some of those notes that only adults really get. So, yeah.
One of the things also, Mike, that's always impressed me is the fact that while you're doing this, you're probably doing 73 other things as well, you know?
Yeah.
Like right now, I don't know, are you working on any other play you're working on now?
Weirdly enough, this is the only one going right now.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I did like a film gig like a week ago, but other than that, this is it.
Well, and then you have
now,
you have your writing, you have your teaching, you have
right,
you know, 70 other.
Yeah. Got to stay busy to
Exciting.
make a living at it, or at least
Trying to make a living
try
at
to
it.
attempt to.
This is also exciting too. That I assume this is the first time you've been Santa Claus.
Right, yeah, first time, I know. Kind of important role.
How do you prepare for it?
I watch a lot of Santa movies, and just try to inhabit the good, jolly nature, even though this is kind of slightly over the top. But still, you know, like any role, I feel like you still have to ground yourself in the actual role and let the comedy play out around it.
Did you study for it?
Well, studied as in like watched various clips of movies, and that's really about it.
Are you a good or bad Santa?
Spoilers.
Okay, then you'll have to come see the show.
Yeah, right.
Well,
See the show.
talk, Mike. I'll ask you a final question in terms of people want to see. I love the title. Who Kidnapped Mrs. Claus? It's playing at the Center for Art and Inspiration in Hendersonville. When's the run?
Right here.
Okay.
So we open today, December 12th, right? Yes. And we run tomorrow, Friday, and then 2 shows on Saturday. So it's just 4 shows in the whole run.
Okay, exciting stuff. And so if you want to see Mike Yao, first appearance of Santa Claus,
Yeah, right.
come on down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come check it out. It's
by
gonna
the
be
way,
fun. It's a fun show.
As I get rid of you, congratulations also. I think you set the record. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th appearance on my show. So
Okay.
thanks a
All
lot
right.
for coming on board.
Well, thanks for letting me have the record.
Okay, see you soon,
All
buddy.
right.
Okay.
Awkward fist bump there with Blaine. Okay.
We'll get Kai in.
Thanks, Blaine.
Okay, and what we're doing here, which is a lot of fun, first time I've done this, Kai, come on board. We're interviewing a whole bunch of folks in the show Who Kidnapped Mrs. Claus, and that's at the Center for Art and Inspiration in Hendersonville. And it's next my pleasure to introduce somebody else who's also been a guest in the past on my show, and he's also seen in several local productions, and he is Clyde Joe Hamilton. Hey,
Hello,
Kai.
everyone out there.
Okay, and Kai, yeah, all your fans and friends and people
so
in the audience. And Kai, this must be a stretch for you. Last time I saw you, I thought you were brilliant in the show I provided. It was the
Lion in Winter.
Lion Winter, and you were a king in there,
Yeah,
right?
that was probably one of the most challenging roles I've ever done. 70 pages of dialogue.
Yeah, but boy, did you hit it though. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was very taxing because I try to go there. That's the way I act. I put myself in it. So,
Was that the first time you had been a king?
gosh, I don't know. I have to think. The biggest one I can think of, yeah.
Well, now, this role is also, I don't know if it's stretch.
Oh, I was a queen here.
What were you-
Right after that. That was
Oh,
hilarious.
were you? What-
Yeah.
what were you queen
The
of?
improper royalty mystery here.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was fun.
But
So I
this-
was a king, then a queen.
But this is also exciting for you because it's also, I assume, the first time you did Frosty the Snowman?
Yes, and I honestly never thought I would. It brought back a lot of memories when he told me he wanted me to play Frosty. I was like, what? Okay. And then I immediately remembered when I was a kid and my mom was still alive and all that, and she was a big Christmas person. So I always think of her this time of the year, and she would always let us watch all the famous classic cartoons. And so I revisited Frosty and I realized how long it had actually been since I'd seen it and how much I remembered. And it was very poignant and nostalgic. And so, that I felt like I'm partly doing it for her and partly for my aunt who loves Frosty. It was always her favorite, or is her favorite. So, yeah.
Was the character one of your favorites?
Yes, my favorite of all the classic cartoons is the Charlie Brown Christmas. I just love it. But yeah, I love Frosty.
That'd be fun to do, Charlie Brown. Have you ever done Charlie Brown
I
Christmas?
have not, so let's do it.
Okay, in your spare time. Well, Kai, you're also kind of all people in the show I think are amazing, but you do like a whole bunch of things and they almost seem to do them simultaneously. In other words, I know I also always enjoy your reviews of theater.
Oh, thank you.
Do you enjoy
yeah.
doing that?
I love it with Mountain Express. Yeah, somebody's got to do it, and I tell the truth.
Well-
As I see it, everybody has their opinion, of course.
But what I appreciate about it is the fact that I'm actually a terrible critic because if I know some of your show, I'm going to like it,
Right.
And I guess it's tough as a critic to sometimes separate you trying to give it
It
a
is.
honest view.
And I do. I'm sorry, even if you're my friend, I'm going to tell the truth. And that's just the way I operate, So,
How did you get into writing reviews?
when I was a kid, actually, I was fascinated by Leonard Maltin and Roger
sure.
Ebert,
Yeah, I used to love that
and
show.
I have the books literally, and I would read I'm telling you, I studied as a kid. I don't know. It fascinated me, the star ratings and how were they able to express their opinion. And I have so much inside of me, I guess, opinions and thoughts, that it was like a way to let it out. And then when I went to school and I've done this show and that and this film and all that, it was a way to bring it all together. And I'm a director too, so I see things a certain way, and so that helps you, be able to be a critic, I feel like.
Do you prefer, in terms of acting or directing? Do you have a preference?
Well, that's a tough one. I love directing because I love to see a vision come to fruition, but it's weird in stages in life. I'm like, oh, I love acting right now, and then I want to direct and whatever. That's a tough one. To me, they're one and the same. I started directing little short films when I was a kid and acting in them, and then I acted on stage, and so I just then birthed more of directing on stage. So it's a hard one. That's a tough one. But I will always be a writer. That was my first thing.
After Santa's workshop, are you working on anything else?
Other than reviews and doing my own writing, I'm working on a ghost story book with a friend of mine. So we're really working hardcore on that. So her name's Mary Dill. Love her.
So it sounds like you're keeping busy.
Yeah, of course. Are you keeping busy?
Well, keeping track
Keeping
of you.
track of me?
It's
Okay.
Full-time job. Thanks, buddy. Good
All right,
seeing
it's
you.
good to see you again.
Okay, Kai.
Bye,
you
everyone.
wanna-
Come see the show.
Okay, great. And we next get to speak to another of my local favorites. Everybody's a local favorite. Hey, kid.
Hi.
Hey, we're with Tasha Pepe, and I like saying Tasha Pepe is having a blast playing in this show, Cindy Lou.
Yep.
And I have to say, I see a lot of shows, but I haven't seen this show yet. Has this been done anywhere?
No, this is one that they wrote for this.
Just for this?
So this is
Oh,
the
that's
first time
exciting.
It's been done, yeah.
So-
we kind of workshopped the script a little bit along the way.
So who is Cindy Lou who?
Cindy Lou Who is the little girl from The Grinch.
Yeah.
She's the sweet, innocent little girl who helps the Grinch discover the meaning of Christmas and helps his heart grow 3 sizes.
So is this the first time you ever played a role like this?
I was in the Stone Soup that we did at the center here this
Okay, I haven't
summer, and
seen
I was
that,
I
yeah.
was a little girl
Oh,
in
did
that
you?
one. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I love about seeing you on stage is you always like doing different kinds of things. You know,
Yes.
like that little girl. Do you have a preference as to like what kind of role you like best?
I think I'm typically typecasted as the sweet ingenue.
Oh, is that it?
So I like to kind of get out of that zone and do a little more difficult, emotional, challenging roles.
And this role.
No, this one is a lot simpler. It's
Well-
fun with the kid shows, just kind of high energy and silliness.
Have you ever played a villain or a bad girl?
I played Lady Macbeth.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that kind of fun?
Yes, I love that. It's one of my favorite roles.
So you're another person, Tasha. I don't know how you do it, but you seem to be doing about like 73 things simultaneously. You know.
Yeah.
Aside from here, you have your home life, you have your business life as well. You have roller skates. Is that what you do?
Yes,
Get around?
I just fly from job to job on skates.
No, I mean, just you do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
What are you working on? Are you working on anything aside from
I
this?
just got cast as Philia over in The Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum.
Oh, well, okay, great.
Yeah.
I know they're putting that's going to be fun too.
Yeah, it will be fun. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, I love singing in musicals.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's you go right from here. You go, I guess, at the
I have
rehearsals
about
pretty
2
soon.
weeks off, and then I start up the next one.
How do you manage to, Tasha? And I've seen you do this. Were you working on 17 different projects at once? You know, is that tough?
It is. I try to use balance. A lot of the shows that I've done recently, especially at the center, have shorter rehearsal periods, so it's easier to do more. And some of them I've done recently have had daytime rehearsals, which allows me to juggle kids and work in the evenings and weekends.
You have to work also. My
I know.
God, can you imagine? Kids. Do you have a favorite role you've done lately?
Most recently, you saw me play Sarah Brown in Guys and Dolls.
Yeah,
That was one of my favorites. I did, you saw me and It Didn't Happen. The Judy Calabrese's.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
right, exactly.
We saw that last year at the Fringe Festival.
Talk about different kinds of roles.
Yes, it's very far from the little girl I'm playing in this one.
Well, I'll try to see you just about everything you do. And like I said, in addition to that, raising 3 boys and being a realtor keeps you busy.
It keeps me very busy. Yeah.
Wait, I look forward to seeing you in Who Kidnapped Mrs. Claus, and that you can see either this afternoon or
Yes.
Friday and Saturday. And
Friday,
Sunday.
and there's 2 shows on Saturday, but no show Sunday.
No, Sunday. 2 shows on Saturday.
Yeah.
And will your family see this as well?
Yeah, my boys will be coming on Saturday with my mom. I'm really excited.
How old are your boys?
They are 7, 11, and 13.
Do you get nervous appearing before them or your mom?
No, I get really excited for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
Oh.
love it.
Do they when they see it?
They're so proud.
And it's probably fun to do something that's appropriate for them.
Yes,
As
yes.
opposed to, you mentioned the show with Judy. I don't
Right.
think they saw that one.
No, they certainly didn't.
Okay, well, yeah, I look forward to seeing you in Who Kidnapped Mrs. Claus. And when we look for Cindy Lou Who, that'll be Tasha Pepe.
Yes.
Thanks, Tasha. Good seeing you. Okay, and we'll get somebody else. I can get. Great.
What's up?
And this is exciting. I don't think we've met before.
I don't think we have.
We are looking forward to meeting. This is
Frank Davis.
Frank Davis. Hey, Frank. Blaine.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. And Frank Davis has the distinction of being Jack Frost. And let me ask you this in terms of Jack Frost. Oh, you were in the, I just saw the Addams Family. You were in
Yes,
that?
I assistant directed and assistant choreographed it.
Okay, good job. The have you ever been Jack Frost before?
I have not. It was the first time for me.
So what prepared you to be in this role?
So, of course, I've always been a big fan of the original Jack Frost movie, even the Michael Keaton one where he turns into a snowman, which was bizarre, but not really this character. A lot of the look of the character was pulled from the Rise of the Guardians movie, where they had all of the different holidays. And so, this Jack Frost, it's very up my alley. He's very cold, if you will. He's very witty and just kind of a little mean. He's a little bit of a mean girl.
Is that you too?
Not in real life, but it's something I can do very well.
The it's funny. I'll remember the story. I don't really remember Jack Frost the story, but in terms of other kinds of things you've done, do you have a favorite kind of thing you do, like
Comedy.
Comedy?
100%. I am a
Do you
comedian.
do musicals?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, and
Singing and being funny has always been my strongest suits.
so when you're not doing this, I assume you do other things as well.
I do. I actually theater was my main focus all through high school and middle school, and then as I started to get into college auditions and stuff, I kind of backed off a little bit, and I've just been taking a break, living on my own, trying to figure out what I really want to do, and it's been nice to kind of circle back and come back into theater more at the end of this year. Starting with The Addams Family was my first show in probably like 8 months.
But you weren't in it.
I was not in it.
Behind the scenes.
I got the honor of directing all those wonderful kids, and
Great. They really did a good job.
I was very proud.
A lot of fun. Aside from this, anything else on the horizon?
Not that I know of. I'm thinking of some auditions maybe, just to keep it going. I'd love to keep working here. This has been a fantastic experience, and it's such a fun cast. And
Have you done other stuff here aside from this show?
so this is in this space,
Right.
absolutely. My first show ever with Flower Playhouse when I was 13 was here,
Right.
and this is the theater I did shows on all through high school, all through middle school. So this is my first show here after the
center.
change to Center for Arts and
Oh,
Inspiration.
super. But you've been with Flat Rock Playhouse?
Absolutely, that's who
Ever.
trained me and who brought me up.
Oh, really? Were you in the, they have a junior program?
Yes. Yeah, I started in youth theater back before it changed into Studio 52. And so all through the youth theater years and all through Studio 52, I was with Flat Rock. Dave Hart, the wonderful man who ran that program for years, trained me in acting. And Wendy Jones, who worked there for years, was my vocal coach all through high school. So I'm a very proud alumni of Flat Rock, and I'm happy to be back in this space. I missed it so much. And
If they want to see Frank Davis as Jack Frost, they can see it, was it today and when else?
today we have a 7:30 show tomorrow, and then a matinee on Saturday, and an evening show on Saturday, and that's it. So you got to come out while you can.
Look forward to seeing you in that. Nice meeting you.
Absolutely. Nice
Okay.
meeting you, Blaine.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Likewise. Now I'll take Ms. Bronson. Heather. We're getting a whole cast. This is exciting. I've never done a show quite like this where we get to meet just about the whole cast in a show. And it's next my pleasure to introduce you to a friend of mine, a very fine local performer, and you can wave to all your friends on Facebook if they're watching. And we're speaking with Heather Nicole Bronson, who plays the little drummer boy. And little drummer boy, what's that all about?
Oh, you know, the little drummer boy, you know, come they told me. So, you know, he's just, he really loves his drum, and he wants to maybe do more than just the one song, and he's kind of exploring that option.
Do you get to play the drum?
I don't know, maybe I do.
Oh, I'll have to, that's, you don't want to give it away. They'll
No,
have to come
not
see.
quite.
Well, in terms of music, you know, you sing, you dance, do lots of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play any instruments aside from the drum?
Well, I don't play drum that much. I used to, when I was little, I played a drum set actually. I play a little harmonica. I play a little ukulele. I'm working on melodica. That's my next venture, and piano a bit.
And Heather, you're also somebody that always kind of amazes me in that you're doing about 17 different things at once.
Usually,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, aside from, you also work at Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
You're still working at Starbucks. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I was very proud of you. I know you recently won, you were the local winner of
Oh,
the,
yeah.
what was that?
The Barista Championship.
Which
yeah.
was really cool.
It was
And
pretty cool.
Just curious, I meant to ask you the other night, did you have the next step?
Oh yeah, we did. It was a very overwhelming day,
Oh, I can-
and I didn't win. They didn't give me a score sheet. I don't really know.
Where was that at?
It was in Charlotte.
Was that exciting though?
It was really loud.
Was it really?
Yeah, more than anything, it was just loud.
Oh, that's how you remember it.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. And one of the things I guess was kind of cool about the job, it gives you a chance to perform there too.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
see yourself as a performer there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Aside from this show, now, have you done other stuff here at the center?
Nope, this is
Oh,
my
is the
first time
show.
here.
And so, at the same time you're doing this, are you working on anything else?
Nope.
It's a rarity, right?
I know. Yeah, I've been taking a little bit of a break. So.
Yeah, Heather, I don't know, I must have seen you in 5, 10 different shows.
Yeah, probably.
What? Do you have a favorite role?
Oh gosh. I really liked Little Red Riding Hood and Into the Woods. She was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And I think I told you my favorite performance, I think was the very first time I ever saw you back in
Yeah.
Mars Hill. Was the
Once Upon a Mattress.
Once Upon a
Yeah,
Mattress.
when I played Fred.
But that was like, it seemed like it was the perfect role for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You know, something that'd be kind of cool. I've never seen anybody else except Mars Hill. Nobody else has done that since. Have
It's
they?
a pretty popular show, but no one's done it around here in a
And
while.
locally. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be a fun show to do?
It would be.
Well, the question, I don't know if I asked you one time I interviewed you for the show, but would really be cool. Do you remember your first role you ever did?
Yeah.
What was that?
I was the funny bunny in Down by the Bay where watermelons grow.
Where was that?
You know, in kindergarten.
You can go.
Yeah.
Now the question is, did they tape that show?
They might have. It's hard to tell. I don't remember.
Because I have a great fundraising idea, either for the center or some other place. Wouldn't it be cool if everybody did their first role?
That would be pretty cool.
You know, and you do it from when you were 5 years old. And actually do an audience. Wouldn't that be a fun thing to do?
No, would be pretty fun.
Okay, we'll have to tell the center to do that. I
Yeah.
just think
That's next. Coming up.
Exactly. So why should people see this show as you as a little drum boy? What's your recommendation?
It's just a really fun show. You know, it's got all these characters that we all have known and loved forever and ever, and kind of brings them into the same universe, which I always think is pretty exciting.
Well, a little like, I guess, Little Red Riding Hood
Yeah.
was too, that you knew the
Yeah,
characters.
it's just very similar.
Age appropriate for anybody?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Super family friendly.
Excepting, you know, it's a serious issue here, though. Who kidnapped Mr. Claus?
Who did it?
Exactly, and you can't tell anybody until
Nope.
they see the show.
Nope,
So if they want to see Heather, they can come Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, right?
that's correct.
Okay.
Two shows Saturday.
Okay, Center for Art Inspiration in Hendersonville. And we look forward to seeing you not only in this, but hopefully some other things.
Hopefully.
And you'll also see Heather. It was so cool seeing you out there and get to speak to you. But if she's not doing a show, she's taking tickets or.
Yeah, I'm around.
That was kind of a fun show too. I thought
Oh,
at,
yeah.
at Brevard.
Yeah, for our little theater.
What was that? The name of that?
Christmas Bells.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's
I-
one of the funniest shows I've seen in years.
But it's too bad because I could have seen you in that.
Oh, I know. I didn't know about the auditions.
Well, Heather, I look forward to seeing you in this show a little bit later today and
Yeah.
some other stuff coming down the road. I always enjoy seeing you on stage.
Yeah, thanks. Good to see you.
Okay, likewise, Heather. And we have Mrs. Karen Covington Yao.
Woohoo!
And
By the way, I'm glad Heather did not audition for Christmas Bells because then she would not be with us.
oh, that's a.
And that would be a shame.
Well, anyway, Karen, welcome aboard. Also, Karen is up there. You've been on my show a couple of different times.
Yeah.
But I've never spoken to you before at the Center for Art Inspiration in Hendersonville. You've done a bunch of stuff here, is that
Yeah,
correct?
I did the very first show here.
I remember that.
The inaugural show. And so, yeah, pretty much been, I think, everything except for the tea, the one about the tea, the mystery one there. I've done all of their shows here, mostly this year. A lot of shows.
One of the fun things I'm looking forward to seeing this show is I've seen you in lots of different things.
Yeah,
you know,
varied.
comedy, drama, whatever. Do you have a preference as to what kind of stuff you like doing?
I prefer musicals, comedy mostly, but I don't know, dramas are so, they just bring you down. I guess sometimes everybody's different, but I like comedy.
Well, I think the role, maybe I've enjoyed just about everything I've seen you in, but that one woman show you did,
Yes,
wow, was that amazing?
that Love Linda, and that's been my favorite show I've ever done, I think. So.
And how many songs did you sing in that?
I don't even know. 30 something, I don't know.
Can
A
you
lot of
imagine?
songs.
A lot of songs. And this was, by the way, for the people who don't know what we're talking about, I had the pleasure of seeing Karen in this one-woman show about Mrs. Cole Porter, right?
Yes.
And wow, it's just told the life of Mrs. Cole Porter
Yeah.
in song.
In
but
song.
30 songs. Was that
lot
tough
of
to get 30 songs down?
It's a lot, and it was all monologues, of course, too, because I was the only person in the show. So it was like song, monologue, song, monologue, song, monologue. So, yeah.
The one nice thing I always thought, though, about one-woman shows or one-man shows is that except for the director, nobody really knows if you blow a line,
Correct.
And
there were times when I may have switched stuff around or whatever, but my amazing piano player, Bob Strain, was
Did a great
was
job,
with
yeah.
me. Even he, like, if he saw that I was switching something around, he would just switch around his music. So,
tough thing.
oop, I just told people I messed up.
Well, let me ask you, in this show, not to give a spoiler alert,
Yes.
but this you play the Grinch.
I do play the Grinch.
And how do you prepare for that? Did that take serious research on your part?
No. Weirdly enough, I've been the Grinch before.
Oh, have you really?
Which is weird. I mean, it's kind of opposite of my personality in general. But
Where were you the Grinch?
Back in Atlanta, at our kids ministry there at my church there, I played the Grinch. I even had a picture proof to show Andy that, hey, I've actually been the Grinch before.
So you're one of the few performers in this that has had experience playing a role.
Playing that character, yeah.
What
But
is
the
it?
Grinch, this is after his heart grew.
Yeah.
So this is when Sandy Lou is grown up, and this is after that. So he's a little different than the grumpy Grinch.
A question I wondered too. Karen is one half of the Yao acting
Yes.
group.
Dynasty.
The Dynasty. Right? Well, no, it's really cool. Like,
Yes.
do you enjoy acting with Mike?
Yeah.
So,
It's very easy to act with him, obviously, because we know each other so well. And
well, I think
are used
you
to
were
it.
the one.
Except he kills me in most shows. Not this one.
Well, you were the one I think who told me though, in terms of lines.
Yes.
Do you like working with Mike or?
No, we
I
did
know.
it. We do it opposite. He likes to go walk around the park with his
Right.
lines and stuff, and I record mine and listen to mine in the car. So we do not run lines with each other.
And I was really surprised you told me that.
Yes.
And I thought that what a golden opportunity to
No.
be able to run lines.
We don't
And
do it.
If folks come to this, which we hope they will,
Yes.
they're in for a treat to see Karen coming me out as the Grinch. Anything to look for, or just come in and have a good time?
Just come in and have a good time, because this is a whole new story with all of these characters put together. So I'm sure people won't even really know what to expect. We didn't know what to expect since it's a whole new story. But it's a lot of fun, even though it's about kidnapping. It's still mostly comedic, if you will. It's not so serious because we know that kids will be coming to the show. But there's a lot
and
of
people act like kids.
yeah, and people act like it. But there's most Christmas movies are like that. There's maybe some sort of drama a little bit, but it all gets resolved well. So,
And what's next for Karen coming to Meow?
nothing at the moment. Yippee!
Really?
I've gone straight this year without any break, and so
So you want to take a little break?
yes. And I keep saying that. I said I was going to do it after Love Linda, and then I didn't do it.
Everybody
And I'm
said-
still acting. So no, after that, I have auditioned for nothing. There's been several auditions come up, and I've been like, no.
Well, anyway, I hope that's not a long break of time because
No,
I was
it'll be a few months or so.
so funny you said that because I was thinking the other day I sent Mike a note. Well, I'd seen him for like maybe 2 months. I was
Yeah,
going with
he
withdrawal.
hasn't done quite as many as me this year, but he still did quite a number. He had a few months off, which I did not have. So.
Yeah, but I said, but I'll try to see Mike in just about everything he's in.
Yes.
So, and I'll try to see you in everything you're in. So,
That's awesome.
I look forward to seeing this in just a little bit.
Yes.
Karen, as always, a
Okay.
pleasure.
Always.
Okay, thanks.
All right, I
If
think
can
you haven't had Miles yet?
Get Miles. I'll get
Miles.
And Karen, I also want not either Andy or I also want to speak to the
If there's time.
development director. Okay, yeah, we're just winding down. So
Jeannie, I haven't seen Jeannie.
no, she's not here today.
Yeah, okay,
So
so
if you can get the other person, I just want to speak to is Spike. So
Oh,
if he's around,
Spike.
great. Miles, good seeing you, buddy.
It's good seeing you. Thanks
Like-
for having me.
Well, this is a treat to see Miles in a slightly different role. I've seen you in lots of
I've
things.
done a
Miles.
hodgepodge of roles this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, but this is now, I don't think I've ever seen you in this kind of role, and Miles is the elf, okay? And the question is, how do you prepare for this role?
How? I don't know. I just I found the sweetness and kindness in my heart. I'm just myself, No, I don't know. It's really interesting. I was kind of pulled on last minute, and I was super excited. I'm like, I've not ever done a Christmas show, and so I think it's just really finding that Christmas spirit, within yourself and pulling that out. As far as pulling the elf to the forefront.
Well, one of the fun things about seeing Miles Rice is that when I see you, I'm always almost guaranteed to see something different.
That's sweet.
No, but kind of really cool that you don't seem to fit into any one category. Would you say that's true?
I try my best to be as malleable as possible. So I try to bring something different to every character that I do, but I never try to lose myself.
Well, I just love it though.
Yeah.
What was the show I saw you in recently at Magnetic Theater?
That was the legacy of Amelia Aldean.
Well, what a surprise that was.
It's completely different than anything, especially this, because you got a fun-loving elf in comparison to a womanizing woman beater.
Your preference as to what kind of role you like playing?
I love playing everything. It gives me an opportunity to have a better understanding of the human psyche. But I do love heartfelt comedy more so than I do anything else. So Robin Hood, when I did Robin Hood this
Right.
past summer, that was a lot of fun because that's kind of more in my hip pocket where I like to sit, and so is the elf. So that's fun.
Had you done children's stuff before?
I have done. I work with kids. I coach kids every now and then, and I actually there's an after-school program here in town called Playground Stage. It's brand new. My friend Leslie Putnam, she's the owner, and I help her with that. So we're working with 4 different schools currently in the Asheville area.
By the way, let me get you back on, or Leslie, let's talk about that for a show. I'd love to do a show on that
Yeah,
program.
sure, yeah,
Let's
for
do
sure,
that.
yeah.
That sounds good. Do you have a favorite kind of role you like playing?
Man, let's see. Anything with fight choreography,
I was
for
gonna
sure.
say that, yeah.
So like I
Well,
said,
that's Robin Hood, which was cool.
Yeah, Robin Hood was a lot of fun. I did end up getting hurt during the
I was
process.
just going to say,
but-
mention that. Yeah, that when I saw you didn't get hurt, but I think shortly thereafter.
Yeah, it was the second weekend that I think I got hurt.
How'd you get hurt?
I was bounding off of a table, and just I guess old age has caught up with me. I played sports growing up, and I guess just wear and tear on my knee. I came off the table, and I had spent 8 hours in a car coming back from Washington D.C. that day, so my knee was just really tight, and I tore some tendons. Luckily, I didn't have to have surgery. It wasn't like my MCL or my ACL, so.
And we were able to continue the role.
I did continue doing it. That was before I'd seen the doctor.
Oh, was it?
I just slapped a knee brace on and kept
Oh,
going.
my goodness.
You know, I was like pulling a Harrison Ford, like hyperextended knee, finishing Indiana Jones.
Play must go on.
Yeah.
So after this, do you have anything lined up?
After this, I'm headed down to Florida to coach some kids the week before Christmas. Then I come back. I might have a show that I'm doing. I'm in the talks with some people about possibly doing a show in Florida. So I might be doing that. Other than that, I'm writing and producing some of my own content.
And also, you've done some film work too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One time you told me too that I never get to that one film. You were in a summer.
Oh yeah, I never watched that movie. We shot that movie in 10 days, and there were a lot of people wearing different hats, and a lot of, lovely people. I love everybody that worked on that movie, but there was a lot of hiccups in that.
So we don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about
that. Okay, we won't mention it. Wait, Miles, if people want to see you as the elf, come on down to Hendersonville Center for Art and Inspiration in Hendersonville. They can see it today, Friday, and Saturday 2 times.
Right.
Miles, look forward to seeing it.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
Good seeing
Thanks
you.
for having me.
As always.
Take care, guys.
And I have a thing. Is this okay? Somebody else I haven't met. Very exciting.
Hello there.
Come on board. And this is, I assume,
Mrs. Santa.
Mrs. Claus. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Hey, Miriam. I'm Blaine.
Hi, Blaine. How do you do?
Great. And I'm very excited because I understand this is the first time you've done something in Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
Had you acted before?
In 5th grade.
In 5th grade? Well, think this in line, and we should tell, I have this great idea, second time I mentioned on the show today, but we can tell Spike. What I want to do, so you acted in 5th grade, what were you in 5th grade?
Well, my mother wrote a play. I lived in Chicago, and she wrote a play about the politics in Chicago, Mayor Daley, and how corrupt he was. And it was kabuki style. So I had 4 masks, and I had to be all 4 characters and do this little kabuki style thing. And he's a much better director than my mother ever was.
Well, now here's the question. Do they have, there was no videotape of that?
Oh no, I'm a little old for that.
Well, you say that. I want you to keep this in mind. I have a great idea, and I want to tell it to Spike, too. That wouldn't it be great as a fundraiser? Everybody does their first role.
Oh, that'd be great.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
At 5th grade, we do what you were in 5th grade, and then we tape it and we show it. I thought, would that be fun?
That would really be fun. That'd be fun because when I think back, I think how really clever it was for my mom to do that.
Very clever, yeah, and to write that. But you were in that play.
Yeah,
so
I was the only person in the play.
Oh my God, big old. So, but it's funny you didn't get the bug then, though. So that was in 5th grade. You didn't act thereafter?
No, I did stand-up comedy for several years in Pennsylvania.
Where?
In comedy clubs outside Philadelphia.
Okay, because Comedy Cabaret, you ever go there?
No, I wasn't in comedy. That's right near Valley Forge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did rehearsals there.
Okay.
But there were other places out in some of the other suburbs where I did it. And I did it for several years. And then one day, and I was just telling Skip, I saw a sign on in a meeting I was at, and the sign said the Latin root of the word sarcasm means to tear flesh. And I read that, and it took me by surprise. I thought, oh my gosh, all my comedy and my whole being was being sarcastic. I lost my sense of humor. It's for years, so I never went back because I couldn't be funny anymore.
Oh, is that funny?
I'm probably funny enough, but you know.
Well, are you funny in this role?
No, I don't. I'm Mrs. Santa. I'm serving cookies and telling people about the spirit of Christmas.
Well, the question is, so how do you prepare for this role?
Well, rehearsals. Rehearsals. And my lines, Annie does change her lines around, so I hadn't expected there to be so many rehearsals. It'd be my first acting role in decades. And I've been just laying in bed at night, playing my role over and over again in my head.
As Mrs. Claus?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Make a comeback.
And then maybe I'll go back to stand-up comedy.
Your mother would be proud.
I think she would be.
By the way,
She would be.
I just did a show yesterday. Somebody will talk about stand-up comedy. I'm friendly with several local comedians in the Asheville area. So if you're ever interested, I'd be glad to tell you a little bit about that. But that'd be fun to do.
You know, I do think about going back to stand-up comedy now because I did get my sense of humor back.
Oh,
it took a few years. Yeah.
Okay, so, or I could see, let's do it. It'd be fun to do a show here. You know, right?
Yeah, it would be.
Let's send it.
I think they should have a talent show for everyone in town to kind of come and do it. Don't you think
That'd be
a way?
fun too. You know, it's just everybody do wherever they want.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you want to see this show, it can run today's first show, and then it runs the next couple days. You see Miriam Hughes make a comeback. Your mom will be proud, I imagine, to
Thank
see
you. I think she would be. I think she'd be excited.
Can you imagine? So I can't believe it. So the fifth grade experience. Did you enjoy it a ton?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did get kicked out in seventh grade because I was too radical.
Oh, really?
Well, Catholic grammar school, you know.
But
I had questions about God.
so Mrs. Claus, though, you can be radical, or we'll have to see the show to
Yeah,
see it.
Mrs. Claus is a little less radical. She's much mellowed out.
Okay, and we hope, I don't want to be the spoiler alert, but we hope they find you, you know, because again, we'll have to see the show, is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, because I do have a costume, so I don't want to waste my money.
Okay, is that, yeah.
They're fine,
And
gotta go.
we're ready, so we have to go, but anyway, be amazing in the show, and we'll look forward to seeing it.
Okay, well, thank you very
nice
much.
Meeting
Nice meeting you,
Okay,
too.
thanks. Okay, and lastly, I think we have our final interview for the day, and this is exciting. Because the first time I met this person, we're going to be at the, hopefully it won't be the last, but I'm speaking with Spike, and the last name is?
Manton.
Manton. And Spike is, your official title is?
Business Development Director.
Okay, at the Center for Art and Inspiration. And Spike, I guess I should mention that we talked a lot about the show. Now let's just talk about the center a little bit. What is the center all about?
So, Jeannie Linder is our founder, has always had a vision of trying to build a house for the arts for a community where art, music, theater, arts and crafts, you know, whatever the community would like to do artistically, it could be a home for people to express that. So she's really eager to have like it's not full service, but just open to the full spectrum of the community's artistic visions. You know, there are places where you can go in this Western North Carolina and see great plays, great music, great dance, and we'd just like to do a little bit of all of it. And there is no reason. I mean, Hendersonville, Main Street is just unbelievable. I mean, I just love it, and there is no reason that this theater can't become a true artistic and cultural anchor for the community right here on Main Street.
Well, one of the, I think, cool things you've done with the theater, or the founder did, everybody else has done, but you certainly have an eclectic range of programming. And let's talk a little bit about this. Starting, we have Santa's Workshop. We're at Santa's Workshop. We'll show, hopefully, in just a little bit. But aside from the children's programming, what other kinds of programs do you have here?
Well, for example, some of the things we're doing, we brought in Dame Edna in November. Dame Edna is just a tremendously funny Australian character that this gentleman, Barry Humphries, started kind of it was a gag, and then it took off, and 50 years he's Dame Edna. And Michael Walters kind of took the torch from him, and a female impersonator comedian is not Ben Henderson's typical fare.
Never, yeah.
But we are eager to bring a broad spectrum of entertainment. We had Ted Vigil came in, a fabulous John Denver impersonator, and then Dame Edna. and then murder mysteries, and we have art workshop, and Robin Crawford is having a, what does she call it, her tag swag, where how to artistically decorate your presents and ornaments, and we had a class in that people came to. So we're trying very hard to not be one thing.
Now, what's very exciting to me, as you said, is that I've been in the area for like 10 years, but I've never seen anything quite like this. You know, like I said, other places have done children's theater, other places have done, not too many people have done murder mysteries.
Unbelievably popular. People, Hendersonville loves to dress up and come out. My Big Fat Italian Wedding Murder.
Right.
People were in costume like you couldn't believe. And it wasn't even necessarily advertised at first to be, come dressed up. People just did.
Well, you also, I think, in that show, and I'll ask you if you're doing any others, that was a dinner theater. Have you done any others?
So what's coming up in the spring is Murder at Studio 54 and a half.
Okay.
We are going to have a disco tech inside the theater, and something's going to go wrong. You know how that era was, Blaine. I'm sure you were at the heart of it all, right there in the middle of the dance floor. Come on, you were under the strobe light, causing all kinds of trouble. I know.
For sure.
So that's going to be a blast.
And that's going to be a dinner theater?
Yep.
Again,
no, actually, well, it's going to be a true discotheque. So there'll be whatever food might have been there, and the drinks of the era, and it won't be a standard dinner theater like the Tea was, or the Wedding Murder, where you have a sit-down dinner. It's going to be a disco, and come dance and solve a crime.
Well, again, just to even describe it, it sounds fun, because, again, I've never seen anything like that in this area. And so if we come to the center, it's almost always going to be something a little bit different.
I think that you can absolutely count on that. We have some original shows that are going to be part of our next season, where we're bringing them in here, polishing them, and we are putting them out on tour using the center as the launching point and the place where the show gets right and gets polished. And then we are licensing it and taking it out on tour.
Exciting stuff. What I think I'd like to do, if we can, Spike, just a couple minutes remaining, I'd like to kind of you do a walking tour with me.
Let's go.
Because what's amazing about this facility, and you'll see it, is that it's more than just a theater, And I think if I can get this going, which we hope we can, I want to take it off the tripod. So hopefully
Technology, be our friend.
Exactly. Hopefully people are still listening. I'm going to see if I first the camera, and I think we're all set.
All right.
And so what we're doing, I'm having the pleasure of being with Spike Manton. He's the business development director for the center. And we're going to kind of take a walking tour. But first, Spike, I just have to show everybody the lobby here, which is mind-boggling. So, Spike, why don't you just talk a little bit about what we're seeing?
Our artistic director, Andy Fiacco, we had an event called Light Up the Lobby. We closed down for a week, and he just decorated to the nines, everything Christmas. Santa's sleigh up there on stage, or kids have been coming in all week and taking pictures in the sleigh and everything. And
can they take pictures with Santa?
Santa was here for one of the days, yes.
Great.
We had a Santa in the sleigh.
Beautiful.
And he's just kind of, he just goes nuts with this stuff. He loves it.
Santa's workshop. And then
So the lobby, we have a coffee bar, wine and beer. And he made that backdrop also. That I just love that. I just think that is so cool. The cup and the mosaic behind it. He created and designed everything in this lobby.
Now, is this open other times when
Yes.
they don't have shows on?
It's a little different in the winter months.
Sure.
The hours are a little reduced, but yes, we are a place where you can come and have a drink, have a cup of coffee, hang out. We are a meeting place for a lot of groups. So, again, just trying to be a community clubhouse.
And you're going to also be able to take courses here?
Yes. Art, drawing. Might even start venturing into some acting classes and maybe even some improv and dance. We're trying to respond to what people are asking for.
And I guess also, if people have an idea, and we'll talk at the very end how to get in touch with you, they should just give you a call?
Spike at the center.
Okay.
AE.org. Bring it
Now,
on.
we're walking into the actual facility, just an incredible...
There's our diva with a little holiday touch.
Okay, I love it.
That's the heart of our logo there.
Does that change every time? It'll be a different hat or some different outfit?
You get St. Patrick's Day, right? What would be the event? 4th of July, of course, right? You got that going.
Now we're walking into the theater, and again, you just have to see this place to believe it.
So you saw what he did with the lobby. This is what he does with a set. He has just a little bit of time.
Yeah, and this is again, if you've been to the center before, or you were the center before when it was Flat Rock Playhouse, it's a beautiful facility. But what you guys have done is really changed it around a little bit.
Right. I mean, they used it as a kind of like a music outpost
Right.
for what they did, and it worked well for that.
Yeah.
And they were very successful in what they do. We're trying to do something very different to become, a little bit of an alternative. So I'm very excited to see people's reaction to this, and they don't realize he's got 2 snow machines in the ceiling.
Okay, well that's
Everyone's going to get a little snow at the
we're
end of the
giving it.
at
It's
the
like
show.
who is it? The comedian Gallagher, So wear your raincoat. You don't have to wear your raincoat. So
No, you don't. You don't.
Okay.
You'll get no melon on you at all.
okay, but anyway, I guess the.
So we're still, 250, 260 seats.
Oh, can you get that many?
Yep.
Wow.
So it's a really nice size.
And one of I think the other thing you're doing too, Spike will mention your wife on this too, but we're also inviting people to come certainly individually if they want, but they can also come in groups.
Wow, group sales are going to be a big part of what we're doing here. My wife Tammy Manton started her business, Group Theater Tips, in Chicago about 20 years ago, and she was outside of the main Broadway shows, Broadway in Chicago. She was the premier group sales agent for the last 20 years in Chicago for the Apollo Theater, the Royal George Theater, the Mercury Theater, all of the off-loop theaters. And she's known Jeannie for a long time. Jeannie wrote Menopause the Musical, smash hit that's toured everywhere, still touring. 20 years later, it's still on the road.
By the way, is it going to be here?
It was here last year in a concert form, and we might bring back the sequel this fall. Don't know yet.
Okay.
But Tammy met Jeannie when she did her run in Chicago. She was Jeannie's group sales agent for 4 years, I think Jeannie ran at the Apollo. So when Jeannie got down here, she kept pulling on Tammy's chain. Hey, you should come down. You should come down and see this place. You should come and see this place. And Tammy's got some friends and family in the area that she came to visit, and a lot of reasons drew her down here, and then now I'm here too.
Well,
She just sucked me right in. I love it.
welcome aboard. Really glad you're here.
Oh, it's great.
And let me just ask you, as a final thing, we'll do the recap. If they want to see the show, they can see the show.
So
Who
Who
can?
Met Mrs. Claus?
Right.
It's this week only, but we've got a matinee today at 2, so you'd have to drive really fast, but would love to see it. But tomorrow night, 7:30, and then Saturday, 2 p.m. matinee and a 7:30 night show. And that'll be the end of our 2019 season, and we're regrouping. We got some great things ahead for 2020.
And so, 2 things. If folks want to find out more about the center,
TheCenterAE.org. TheCenterAE.org.
best bet. And you're also on Facebook as well?
Yep, we are on Facebook. We are all around, but if you just want to reach out and touch me directly, Spike at thecenterae.org. Spike at thecenterae.org, and I'll write you back.
Okay, I'd like to thank you, Spike, for having us here today.
Thanks for coming. It was terrific.
The great facility. You have to come down to it. I'd like to thank folks for watching this special edition of the Blaine's World Show, and thanks to you folks at the Center for Art and Inspiration. Tune in every week, either when we do a special show such as the one we're doing, or the regular time at 9 a.m. on WPVM, the 103.7 FM, or on WPVM's Facebook page. Hope to see you next week.